Hello. The presentation is going to be in English, so don't worry if you're an English speaking person. So there has been a lot of talk today about data, and I want to talk maybe more about people, and it's the last presentation, so it might be a bit softer, maybe. So hello, my name is Michal Blažej, I work at LB, and we are UX studio where we make business and technology more human. This is what I'm supposed to use, right? Okay. So what I want to talk about is digital transformation. So digital transformation is a buzzword basically, and it has so many difficult or so many different meanings for each and every person. So, it could be marketing automatization, agile, core system updates, AI, whatever, digitalization. How we perceive digitalization or the digital transformation at Dôvera is actually making a future capable organization. So the question is, what is future capability? For my perspective, it's equipping the organization with skills that enable us to live in the messy, speedy environment that is to come. What is messy, speedy environment, or how I envision it, is that it's not just the silicon startups that give you new features on daily basis, but is the bigger, more established corporations that do this on weekly basis. So maybe your competitor just gives you a new P2P form of payment and you have to act on it right away, and you have to do it within next weeks, and you have to bring a new product on the market, or at least ensure your clients that yes, you are on that topic and working on that topic. The loyalty of the customers is going to be really hard to catch. Already you can see with all the new banks coming into the environment, people are just switching from one to another, and they're not loyal as they used to be. They used to be knocking on the doors of corporations that they want to be clients of them, but now it's otherwise around. So there's going to be messy, speedy environment. And the other thing that I kind of see happening is that the secret wishes of customers become true. What I see is that the organizations are really investing heavily into understanding what are the needs of the customers and how to make them true, how to satisfy these needs. And basically how I feel is who is not satisfying the needs is going to die. So not a single company is safe, I think. It's not just about the startups. It's not just about the big companies. It's about every single company because the market is just transforming in this way. And just the small startups are teaching our clients on how demanding they should be. So, yes, I've been already talking about this. Future is coming soon. You can already see in the banking industry, which is a very good example, and there has been a lot of talk about this in the next room, where you would have new banks like Revolut or Ad26 providing new features to the customers, and these customers are getting used to it, and if they like it, they just get stuck with the new bank, right? And they stop thinking and taking care about your existing, maybe more established company because they like the new features. So the question is, how do we see future capability of Dôvera, and how are we approaching future capability of Dôvera? For me, it's about becoming really fast and adaptable in a messy, speedy environment. So if we have this very fast, agile environment, we need to be able to adapt, and we need to be quick. And the other thing is make our work customer-centric so secret wishes become true. So you can see clearly that being agile and being user-centric is two pillars of our work at Dôvera, and this is what we are trying to maybe get deep inside the company DNA. So what these two skills will bring us is loyalty, and that's what we are all coming after. We really want to build strong relationships with our customers and clients so they really feel that, yes, this company is worth having a relationship with. This company is something that I don't want to leave, even though the other company just launched a new feature that I really like. So how do we become really fast and adaptable in messy, speedy environment? For us, the answer is building new kinds of teams, and we call them agile squads. You might know them from other companies. The Orange Spain has agile squads, but also you can go to more modern, like Spotify would have agile squads. Agile squads is basically a team of multidisciplinary people who work on a single problem, and this team has some features. The first thing is that they are self-deciding. All the necessary roles are already included in the team, so there is no waiting for approval, and these people have to have the ability to decide on a problem. And this team is also self-deploying. They have a developer in their team that is able to actually develop the particular feature and put it on the market. By having this team of maybe 5-6 people, you are able to deliver much faster because you're kind of bypassing the longer processes that you would run into because you already have a responsible person in your team. The second thing is we are working on at Dôvera is customer validation. So we say that ideas are not projects until they get prototyped and tested. Every single new project that comes to our table, we try to first prototype, go to the customers, see if it makes sense for the customer, if it satisfies the secret needs and wishes of the customers, and if yes, then it becomes a real project and then it gets executed. And also, feature is not complete until we learn how valuable it is. So within our sprint, in our agile environment, before we say that this goes to the market, we must make sure that it's actually tested with the user and the users actually give us some feedback on it and we understand the value. Maybe the value is minimum, or the value is really big, but we need to understand this. It's not a failure to find out that we have built a feature that is not valuable. It's a failure to keep it in the product for a longer period of time. So changing the way we work requires a lot of effort. You can imagine that these kind of changes within the organizations, building new agile teams, but also having that customer validation in every single project is really hard. And it's something that we need to work on for a longer period of time, and we need to show the value of the process. So how can we ever be successful? For me, it's part of this story, and this is just one tool, and I wanted just to showcase a tool that we've been working on, is something we call Dôvera design language. Imagine a website where it's a Swiss Army knife of an agile team. So these teams can find everything they need for their work on this website. So, for instance, let me show you basically what a design system is. For me, it's a unified source of truth, but at the very top level, you would find components and patterns, stuff that, for instance, a button or maybe an input field or maybe a booklet. So you can find all different components that you need for your work, and it's accessible and it's a template that you can reuse. Then there's a definition of brand. So we clearly say how we communicate who we are, so we can use that, and these teams can be self-deciding because the rules are already set in the design system. And finally, there's work approach. So there are rules on how you should research your customer, how you should make sure that the product you're delivering makes sense and is usable. Here are some examples. So first, you would find rules for every role that enable people make decisions on their own and stay customer-centric. So it's for designers, developers, analysts, marketing people, PR people. You can find rules based on your role, on how you should deliver your work. There is content types to enable speedy prototyping. So we have divided our design systems into like different patterns and different types of screens that we can quickly deploy and use, so people don't have to think about building new product. They already have these templates that they can use. We also talk a lot about our vision. So vision helps align culture and tools and make transformation happen. A big part of design system is actually talking about what we are trying to achieve. And finally, there's components and patterns that speed us up, ensure seamless experience because they're consistent. Any agile team that takes new components, they can reuse it and they can implement it, and it's still seamless and it's consistent. and enable continuous delivery through common environment. What we had to do at Dôvera is actually build a new system that is open and every team can access it and every team can actually change whatever they want in any single channel. So on maybe a website, there would be 3 teams working on the website and they still keep the experience consistent because of this, because we have this well-defined. So now just a couple more examples of what you can find in our design system. You would find illustrations, and these are not just for designers, but actually for people who would just prepare their new PowerPoints. They can go here and take the illustrations and use it in their PowerPoints, which just makes the experience more consistent. There is icons, of course, helping consistency, typography, helping consistency, tone of voice, so you would have actually a definition of how the tone of voice works. I had to hide some of the stuff and make some lorem ipsum. These are the content types. So you can see that we have just summed up the interaction with the user to 4 different content types, and we are using just these 4, so we don't make it too complicated, the interaction with the user. But we also have some components. This is the header, for instance. That's for the developers. They can reuse it and use it anywhere they want. But the thing that's kind of special on this design system is that we put all the user research insights here, and it's there for everyone who wants to build a new product. So maybe we learned something about the website Dôvera SK when we were redesigning it. We were talking to a lot of people and understanding their needs. Well, we put it here so everybody can access it and everybody can make their own decisions based on it. Then we have some principles to make sure that we have the same alignment on the culture shift. And finally, some materials to support the culture shift. We also have some posters there that you can find around Dôvera right now. So what are the results? We now have 3 self-deciding teams up and running that are not waiting for decisions from other departments because all the stakeholders are in the team, so they're faster. We have 3 big projects completed, and the result is that there is consistent experience. The websites and applications look alike. We have in one day we were able to develop a new product prototype, which means that with all the components, it was just drag and dropping and building a new prototype that could be tested the other day. And different teams work on the same projects, as I mentioned. On the website, there could be 5 teams working, and they still keep the experience consistent because of the system they have in place. And tons of ideas validated with the end users. So we had a lot of ideas coming, and we evaluate if they bring value to the customer in a specific idea validation process.
Sorry for interrupting, but time is...
Well, that's my last slide. Okay. So yeah, for me, digital transformation is making organization future capable through the way you work, and design system can be the vehicle of that culture shift. Thank you very much.
And if you could please answer the question from Slido. We have some seconds, so.
How did this start? What is the root of this? Architect, developers, leaders. This is an initiative coming from the bottom up, and well, we are trying to make it bottom up, transforming the existing digital department within Dôvera and becoming more of digital transformation department now. But it's also covered from the top down because we have a good relationship with the C-level executives who are supporting our activities within Dôvera. Should I answer the second one as well?
You can.
Okay. Scalability of business model is often a precondition for survivor in an innovative environment. What about Dôvera and its scalability and innovation potential? Well, scalability is really hard in terms of, like, what we feel is today the health insurance business is really commodized, that there is, a certain rules you have to do and you cannot give anyone anything extra. Everybody has to get the same. So our way of doing this is really making better relationship with the customer. And the innovation potential is exactly where at this spot. We are trying to really make sure that by innovating, we are building the stronger relationship, more trust, and longer relationship, hopefully.
Okay. Michal, Blažej,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's okay. So for this stream, it's everything, but in bank stream is still running a program, and traditional hackathon is combination of creativity and theoretical knowledge, and the competition is supported by Tatra Banka with the main win €5,000. So we will be honored if you stay a look to new ideas which will be created in 24 hours, and look who will be a winner. And at the end, we prepare for you a jazz concert by Swing Gang Band, which starts after declaration of the hackathon winner. So again, thank you so much for your attention for today, and you can go to the bank stream to stream on. Thank you so much.